What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of AM Devotions. So today, guys, we're going to be talking about just having faith in God. Because I feel like us as Christians, a lot of times, we get caught up with just doing our own things, our day-to-day basis, the people we're around, and, you know, we tend to forget on a daily basis. And, that can be, you driving down the road, you get frustrated over someone cutting you off, or, maybe work didn't go as planned as you'd hope, and you get mad or frustrated with that. And we have to remember that if we put our trust and faith in God, we know that there's always a reason for everything that happens. Whether we understand it or not, there's always a reason. Now, since I just kind of jumped into it right there are a few verses that I wanted to read out to you guys, just kind of based on that. Like, first one, let's read Psalms 27. Some trust in chariots and some in horses, but we trust in the name of the Lord our God. Hebrews 2:4 also says, Behold, his soul is puffed up, it is not upright with him, but the righteous shall live by his faith. And then we have another one, Matthew 9:20. Then he touched their eyes, saying, According to your faith, be it done to you. And as you can see, the Bible itself speaks so much about just having that faith in God and the amazing works that just having faith can do for your life. And, my life lately has been pretty, I wouldn't say hectic or crazy, but honestly, it's been kind of mind-blowing, really, ever since I started really trying to build my relationship with God, and reading the Bible and praying a lot, and just trying to build that relationship with Him. There's just been a lot of stuff that's been happening, and some stuff I don't really know why, and but like, about a month ago, I was in the process of becoming a firefighter. And, I don't know if y'all know anything about becoming a firefighter, but it is a long process. Working on it for 3-4 months, you have to do each step. You get your psychological exam, you got your physical agility test, you have a polygraph exam, you have your drug test, and all that jazz. And then a first interview, a second interview, like just a lot. The process is a lot, and I made it all the way to the very second to last thing I needed to do, and which was the poly exam, and I passed the poly exam. I passed pretty much everything, or at least according to what they told me, but unfortunately, I was denied, and it kind of, and this was about a month ago. What's up, girl? So this was, all right, lay down. 1 second, my bad. All right, lay down. Hey, lay down. Come on, dude, lay down. She doesn't want to lay down. Anyways, so it was kind of, at first, it was a little disappointing. All right, dude, you got to get down. 1 second, I can't focus. Get down. All right. So I made it through all of the process, except for the last thing. I never got to do the physical agility test, which, of course, I knew I was going to pass that. But I made it to the second to last thing, and like 2 days after they told me I had passed the poly exam, they also sent me an email telling me that, you didn't make the cut. Just some of the stuff in my past just didn't align well with their hiring standards, which, it's a little disappointing. And it was kind of hard for me to really understand why that happened. And to be honest with you, I don't fully understand now why that happened. But what I do know is that I can look back at my past and take accountability for the drugs, just other stuff that was on my application that I told them about that, rightfully so, they denied me for. And, as much as, I want to sit here and be upset about it, you have two options. You can be upset about it, or you can move on, and you can just trust God's plan and his process, which, to be honest with you, it was weird though. The whole time I was going through the process, there was this weird feeling, and this was just like a month ago. There was this weird feeling of, and I kept telling my boss this. I even told my dad this. Is I had this weird feeling like it just wasn't, like either it wasn't time or it wasn't gonna work out. But I stayed optimistic about it. I had that weird feeling, but I stayed optimistic about it, and I kept going through the process, and you pass, and I was like, well, shoot, maybe this is it. Maybe this is what they want. Maybe this is what God's plan is for me. And so when you finally get that denial, it was like, all right, God, like what do you want? Like, seriously, what do you want, dude? I just went through this whole process, got to the second to last thing. I was on the last thing. I just didn't get to do the last thing, and then I get denied. And there's nothing you can do about that. All you can do is just look back towards God, have faith, and trust that his plan is going to be right. And I have a lot of faith in that. I don't know why, but what I did realize is right after that, I gained another client for coaching. I also gained a couple people to film their reels and whatnot, and I've also been more consistent on my diet, my workouts. Now, okay, side note. So a lot of people call it a diet, and it's so odd to me because I actually saw this reel by some chick, and she put on there, it's funny how real foods now is considered a diet. And that's so true, because if you look at my food plan, which you can see like on one of my reels that I posted, like it's not ridiculous. Like I eat yogurt, I eat burgers, a salad, oats with some peanut butter. Like it's not like I'm eating, like 4 grams of chicken and 1 cup of rice and just broccoli 24/7. Like no, like I'm still enjoying myself, but I'm staying in that calorie deficit. It's just funny to me how like people, that we call it a diet now, but in reality, like if you go back like 100 years, like this was normal food. This was real food, because you didn't have all the Skittles, gummy bears, the chips, I don't know, maybe something like chips was back then, but anyways, I'm getting so off topic, but so point I'm making is, even though I was denied as a firefighter, there was still good that came out of it. And I still don't understand completely why. I don't know if, that's the path he still wants me to go. I don't know if he wants me to go a different path. I don't know. Maybe he wants me to stay where I'm at and keep working on my content and whatnot. And, that's what I'm doing right now, guys. I just want to create content for you guys and let y'all watch me grow, in hopes that it motivates y'all to be a better version of yourself. And it can be hard. Like, I'm not going to lie to you guys. Like, it's this past week, it's been mentally wise, it's been like back and forth, but that's where the discipline of what you need to do, even though you don't want to do it, comes in, you know. And I've built that discipline over months and months. And uh, even though mentally there's been days this week that I'm just like, I don't want to go to the gym. Like, I'm tired, I'm exhausted, I don't want to go, I don't want to do this. But you got to. If your end goal, if you have a goal set, and if you're trying to achieve something, you got to do it. Because think about it, life isn't going to stop for you, especially like if you're a young guy just getting into like the work field and all that sort of thing. You need to realize that life isn't going to stop. Bills aren't going to stop, you know. You're going to, like, for example, if you don't want to go into work, like, how are you going to make money? If you don't have any other way of making money and you got to pay your bills, but you choose not to go into work just because you don't feel like going into work, you know, you're not going to be able to pay that bill. Like, you have to go. You have to do it. And it's the same thing with fitness. It's the same thing with training for, you know, athletics or whatever it may be, or running or whatever you do. Like, any type of fitness thing, like, if you have a goal in mind, you're going to have to consistently do it, and you have to be disciplined when doing it. You can't allow all the feelings and excuses that pop into your head to control what you do. Because let's be honest, just because you feel a certain way doesn't always make it the right feeling. Just because that goes for a lot of things, but we're going to stick to fitness right now. But, you know, a lot of people, you know, they just feel exhausted, or they just don't feel like going to the gym. But you have to remember, what's the end goal? What am I shooting for? Oh, I want that physique. Oh, I want to be healthy. Oh, I want to be able to stretch more. Oh, I want to be able to run 10 miles instead of 3 miles. Like, whatever that goal is, you're never going to reach it the longer you keep pushing it off. So it's either do the work or stay where you're at. Because, look, guys, every day you take off is one day your goals and dreams are pushed back. And I don't want that for you guys. And when you're being disciplined like that, it's almost just like having faith in God. Like right now, like I'm just putting all my faith in Him. I'm just trusting Him. I don't know exactly where my life is going. I'm just doing what I love. I love creating content. I love, you know, I'm fine with where I'm working at right now. You know, there's nothing wrong with that. I enjoy the work. It is a lot on my body, and it gets exhausting, but, you know, I enjoy the work, and I enjoy my buddy I work with. So, you know, I'm just trusting him. I'm just allowing him to take me down that path. And, you know, as I pray and as I continue to dive deep into the Bible, you know, if I get that feeling, if I get that acknowledgement for him, and he tells me, hey, I want you to go down this path, or, you know, I want you to do this, you know, I'm going to take it. You know, I'm not going to say no to it. And it's the same thing with fitness. You know, it's being disciplined and reminding yourself, like, hey, you know, if I want to reach this expectation for myself, then I need to trust the process. I need to have faith in the process of what I'm doing now is going to get me to where I want to be in 6 months, 8 months, a year, whatever it may be. So, but I just thought, you know, guys, this was a good time to share that. Thanks for tuning in again on the AM Devotions. I kind of just jumped right into it. I don't know if it's really that, I don't even know how long I've been doing this, but I just kind of jumped right into it this time. So, but anyways, guys, thanks for tuning in to another AM Devotions. Next week, there will be another fitness video, guys, for you guys. So, hopefully it keeps providing values for you guys. And if there's stuff that you want to see, or if there's stuff that you're just like, man, Michael, why do you keep doing that? I don't like that. I mean, leave it in the comments, like, subscribe, let me know what you think. I mean, it doesn't mean I'm going to change what I do exactly, but, it's always good to have some input to read and look at and decide what I'm going to do next. So thanks, guys. You guys have a great night, and God bless.